there, curious minds. Ever felt like life throws you a riddle wrapped in a mystery, leaving you wishing you had some kind of shortcut to understanding?
Or maybe you've stumbled upon stories so rich they seem to hold layers of, well, ancient wisdom just waiting.
Exactly. Well, today we're taking a deep dive into precisely that, the profound, enduring power of parables. We're sifting through some really insightful material that uses the vivid symbolism of trees.
Right, ancient symbolism, using trees to guide us toward thoughtful, impactful decisions in our lives.
Yeah, it's fascinating stuff.
Indeed. Our mission today really is to extract those surprising facts and profound insights. We want to help you not only grasp the timeless meaning behind these narratives, but also, understand their practical application for your own path. We'll explore how these stories, when you really reflect on them, can illuminate the way forward.
That's right. We'll be uncovering how parables, far from being just simple tales, actually function as master keys. Keys to understanding purpose, navigating distractions, and ultimately gaining real mastery in life.
So get ready to see trees not just as, well, parts of nature,
but as powerful symbols guiding your journey. Definitely. Okay, let's unpack this then. Our sources kick off by highlighting the inherent nature of parables. They emphasize they are anything but quaint or simple stories.
Oh, no.
We see references like Habakkuk 2.6 mentioning a parable against him. And then Proverbs 26.9 gives this stark warning. As a thorn goeth up into the hand of a drunkard, so is a parable in the mouth of fools. That's quite an image.
It really is. And what's fascinating here is the dual purpose of parables, especially as Jesus used them. Our sources point to Matthew 13, where Jesus spoke in parables, explaining it was for revelation to his disciples, but concealment, sort of, for those not ready.
So they require work.
Exactly. They're not just easy stories. They require deep reflection. And that active engagement, that reflection, is precisely what becomes key to making meaningful, progressive decisions in our own lives.
Absolutely. And speaking of deep reflection, our sources plunge us right into one of the most compelling allegories. It's the parable from Judges 9, where the trees went forth on a time to anoint a king over them.
An incredible setup, giving voice and action to trees.
Yeah.
All to teach us profound lessons about purpose and leadership. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, the responses of the olive tree, the fig tree, and the vine tree, they offer a powerful blueprint for thoughtful decision-making in our own lives. These aren't just characters, they're archetypes for how we approach our callings.
Okay, let's dive into those lessons one by one, because this is where the practical insights really start to bloom.
First up, we have the olive tree. This one truly embodies thoughtful consideration. When the trees ask it to rain, its reply is deeply introspective. It says, "Should I leave my fatness, wherewith by me they honor God and man, and go to be promoted over the trees?" Now, this isn't arrogance. It's about a steadfast resolve to remain in its divinely appointed place, recognizing its inherent value.
That's a crucial distinction, not just purpose, but divine purpose. So what does this mean for us, practically? It's a call, really, for each of us to reflect. What am I truly here for? Why am I on earth?
Right.
Our sources quote Pastor Kumuyi on this, saying, each person must concentrate on and commit to the purpose God has given. He adds, just as trees do not try to bear the fruit of another tree, so must every life remain faithful to its God-given purpose.
Precisely. It's about sticking to your calling, even when something else looks like a promotion or, greater recognition. The material reminds us, echoing Hebrews 5, that no one takes honor to himself except by divine calling.
Like Aaron and Christ.
Exactly. They didn't glorify themselves. And it poses that eternal question from Mark 8. For what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul?
Wow.
Abandoning your purpose for worldly gain is essentially exchanging the eternal for the temporal.
And Paul's journey illustrates this too.
Right, absolutely. In Philippians 3, he counts his former pursuits as loss for Christ.
Right.
That's profound commitment.
Okay, then we come to the fig tree. This one demonstrates thorough concentration.
Yes. It too is asked to reign, but responds, should I forsake my sweetness and my good fruit and go to be promoted over the trees?
So similar logic, but focused on the fruit, the output.
Exactly. This highlights the courage to refuse distractions, those glittering opportunities that could actually lead you away from your assignment.
And this feels especially relevant today.
It really does. Our sources directly address this. They note, our generation is losing the ability to concentrate. Both young and old are struggling with shortened attention spans.
Sadly true.
The lesson from the fig tree demands deep focus, undivided attention. Like Paul, who declared, "But none of these things move me, so that I might finish my course with joy."
Unmoved by external pressures.
Right. Think of Mary in Luke 10, choosing the one thing needful over Martha's many cares. It's about discerning what truly matters and focusing your energy there.
So the challenge for us then is resisting that constant pull of diversions. As Pastor Kamui emphasizes, distractions may arise, but the will of God is to walk, run, and minister without losing focus.
Concentration on God's purpose is the pathway to fulfillment.
It's about pressing toward the mark, like Paul says in Philippians, forgetting those things which are behind and reaching forth unto those things which are before. Disciplined, unwavering focus.
And finally, the third tree, the vine tree. This represents total commitment. When asked to reign, it asks, "Should I leave my wine, which cheereth God and man, and go to be promoted over the trees?"
Okay, so this speaks to clarity about true duty.
Radical clarity, yes. Duty to God, not to the fear of disappointing people or, chasing self-glory.
That implies making tough choices.
Yeah.
Saying no more often.
Exactly. Our sources make it clear. Life requires more no than yes. It's about having a clear vision. Like Paul's heavenly vision that he was not disobedient unto, his ministry wasn't just an option. It was a debt, a profound commitment.
Not flexible.
Not at all. And it's also a warning against lying vanities. Things that look interesting, but are ultimately worthless in light of eternity.
Things that rob us of mercy and reward, as Jonah puts it.
Precisely. The message here is stark. Our sources suggest God leaves us here after salvation because there's an assignment to fulfill. And this work demands seriousness, focus, total commitment.
Wow. That parable of the trees alone is just incredibly rich.
It really is.
But our deep dive reveals the symbolism of trees goes way beyond that single story. It offers universal lessons.
Yes, this takes us to a fascinating, broader perspective. The very idea of trees throughout Scripture often speaks to sustenance and revelation.
Sustenance and revelation. How so?
Well, think about Deuteronomy 20.19. It instructs preserving fruit trees even in war, because the tree of the field is man's life. That's physical sustenance.
Okay.
But spiritually, our sources highlight that Israel failed. They figuratively cut down God's prophets, the trees of revelation.
And that led to silence.
A 400-year silence between the Old and New Testaments, according to this view.
That's a powerful historical arc. From Christ's revelations through the apostles, then maybe the Dark Ages, where Scripture's voice was perhaps quieter.
Right, the trees were cut down, symbolically.
But the story doesn't end there.
No, Pentecost brought restoration, and now the call goes out. Rise and do the work of the tree. Bear fruit of knowledge and revelation.
And Proverbs calls the righteous trees of life. It's amazing how this one image, the tree, carries so much meaning.
It really does. And it also extends to how people themselves are pictured as trees. We see mischievous individuals pictured as trees. They might flourish for a bit.
Like the green bay tree in Psalm 37.
Exactly. Spreading himself out, but soon vanishes. Pharaoh in Ezekiel, Nebuchadnezzar in Daniel, proud trees cut down.
Though Nebuchadnezzar was restored, right, shows potential for regrowth.
Yes. That's a key point from Job as well. Hope for a tree even when it felled. New growth is possible.
But the image also brings tremendous hope for maturing individuals planted as trees. Psalm 1 describes the righteous as like a tree planted by the rivers of water, always fruitful, never withering. Stability.
Which raises that important question, where are you planted? Our sources emphasize that those planted in the house of the Lord shall flourish, even bearing fruit in old age, quoting Psalm 92.
Planted by God himself.
It's presented as a privilege, providing waters of grace, ensuring fruitfulness in every season. Like in Numbers or Jeremiah, they're meant to be rooted, not wanderers.
And finally, there are manifold ministries portrayed by trees. Isaiah describes mountains and trees breaking forth into singing and clapping their hands when God's people are present.
It's an image of incredible joy, transformation, sadness replaced with cheerfulness, blessings overflowing, a vibrant spiritual landscape.
Yes, and Isaiah 61 talks about trees of righteousness, the planting of the Lord, giving beauty for ashes, the oil of joy for mourning.
It's about lasting legacy, the fulfillment of labor. As Isaiah 65 promises, as the days of a tree are the days of my people, they shall long enjoy the work of their hands. A powerful vision of purpose realized.
Okay, so after exploring all these rich layers of symbolism, what does this mean for gaining mastery in our lives?
Well, our sources highlight that Jesus used parables for precisely this reason, to utter things which have been kept secret from the foundation of the world.
So neglecting them means missing out.
Missing treasures that grant mastery, yes. To gain this mastery, the material points us to 2 Timothy. Strive lawfully,
Meaning?
meaning return to Christ, study his word, pray for understanding. This allows us to gain profound insights that truly shape us, moving beyond just information to transformative knowledge.
Let's look at how specific parables help with this mastery, starting with the prophetic parable of symbolic trees. This one teaches discernment of the times, right?
Exactly. Just as the fig tree's budding signals summer, the signs around us, our sources suggest, announce the nearness of Christ's return. References like Matthew 24, Mark 13, Luke 21.
And the sources specifically link the fig tree to Israel.
They do. What's particularly striking, according to these sources, is this connection. After Israel's dispersion, their regathering in 1948, their reestablishment, it's presented as a clear sign that the time is at hand.
Wow, so this generation is seen as special.
According to this interpretation, yes. A special generation, and it's a call to be ready.
The warning is clear then, like the days of Noah, people just caught up in daily life.
Right, caught unawares. Luke 21 urges us to take heed, lest your hearts be overcharged with surfeiting and drunkenness and cares of this life, and so that day come upon you unawares. Vigilance.
A stark reminder. Okay, what's next?
Next, we encountered the predictive parable of scorched trees. This one delivers a sobering message. Matthew 7.1 states it plainly. Every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire.
And this is about more than just religious observance.
Much more. It's about the tangible, observable fruit of our lives, our character.
Exactly. The passage continues, by their fruits ye shall know them. It's not just saying, Lord, Lord, but doing the will of the Father. Otherwise, that chilling declaration, I never knew you, depart from me.
It's a profound challenge, really. Our sources state it plainly. A life without the fruit of the Spirit and without the fruit of repentance is like a tree without fruit.
And John 15 reinforces this, the branch cast forth.
Yes, the branch that doesn't abide is cast forth, withered, and burned. It forces the question, what kind of fruit are you bearing? Our sources also point to Revelation 14, which paints a stark picture of the consequences for rejecting truth or bearing no good fruit.
Okay, and finally, there's the pertinent parable for all spared trees. This one speaks to grace.
Grace and perseverance, yes. Our sources highlight Romans 11, how we are grafted in by grace like a wild olive tree into the natural branches.
An incredible act of inclusion.
It is. But this grace comes with a profound responsibility. A warning, even. Be not high-minded, but fear. If God didn't spare the natural branches, the sources warn, take heed, lest he also spare not thee.
So the expectation is clear.
Very clear. As the tree of God, we must produce only good fruit, the fruit of the Spirit, not mixed with the works of the flesh. Echoing James 3.
This leads to a critical point, then, about the urgency of right now. Revelation 22 says, he that is unjust, let him be unjust still, and he that is righteous, let him be righteous still.
And our sources interpret this to mean there's no opportunity for change after certain eschatological events or after death. The choices we make now are paramount.
So what Adam and Eve missed in the garden?
The right to the tree of life is now made available through Christ, according to these sources. Those who obey God's commandments will have that right, will enter in through the gates into the heavenly city, quoting Revelation 22 again.
It underscores the profound choice we all have and the eternal significance of the fruit we bear.
Wow. What a deep dive. We've journeyed from understanding parables through the olive, fig, and vine trees to the broader symbolism of trees in prophecy, judgment, promise.
It's truly a rich tapestry of wisdom for thoughtful decision-making, purposeful living.
Indeed. We've seen how these ancient narratives aren't just history. They're living guides. Guides to purpose, focus, unwavering commitment. That idea of yourself as a planted tree with a divine purpose to bear good fruit, it's powerful, challenging.
So thinking about you, the listener, what does this all mean for you? How might recognizing yourself as a planted tree with a specific purpose influence your daily choices?
Yeah, how can this perspective help you discern and reject that constant barrage of distractions?
And ultimately, empower you to live a life that genuinely bears lasting fruit.
Maybe consider that profound contrast between the trees that wither and those that flourish. The temporary success of the unrooted versus the enduring fruitfulness of the righteous.
What kind of tree are you striving to be?
And what fruit are you cultivating today? Fruit that will prepare you for that ultimate promise of the tree of life.
Definitely something to ponder long after this deep dive concludes.